welcome to Wildflower Farm. So we're going to be a wildflower farm here in Springfield, Missouri. Had some glitches in the system, ended up kind of having to shelf that because the dirt's not that great here. We had the Department of Conservation come out. They were saying, oh, you've got like fragipan soil. It's virtually impossible to plant anything in there, but we are going to try to restore the ground to like a prairie. It was originally all hardwood trees, and then it was wildly overgrazed. So that's what we're working with, but the Department of Conservation is going to help us with that. So we're excited to move forward with that. But my new project, and something I'd like help with, is my backyard. And I'm going to turn around here in a second. We're going to get into the farthest corner, and I'm going to show you what we're working with. So I'm in the furthest corner. There's the back of the house, and that stump right there, that's just a stump, and then the septic is right there. There's the propane. Right on the other side of the propane is the well. You can see the little trellis there that kind of you walk through to get into the backyard. And then you go around. We've got some beds along the fence there. And this gate opens up to go into the chicken yard over here. But the rest of it is just open, you guys. So I need some ideas. I want to make this just a nice stroll garden. You can see back there, I did plant some stuff in that corner when we first moved in because it was just so hot and it baked and nothing would grow back there. We actually had to bring soil in to put on top. Now it's all weedy, but there are some plants in there that I actually planted, but a lot of it is weeds and I need to go through and clear it out. I might even still be starting zinnias or sunflowers. I didn't realize how many days we had left. We still have like 120 days left in the season. So let me show you what my initial plan is. So this is my now layout of the backyard. And this is, so the propane tank is here. So as you can see, I did the measurements just from the propane tank, but there's a lot of room over on this side, and the little walkway was like right here, the little trellis that we already have set up. So in theory, I still have more room here, and I'm considering putting something further up instead of starting it right here. But this was my idea. This walkway is about 4 feet. And there'd be a little bit here to go back to that weedy area I showed you. And here's the sunroom. That's the wall with all the windows on it. And I would like to have some water catchment right there. That's the AC unit. There's a water spigot right there. I'd like to have this path go around and have zinnias planted here and something lower, maybe some snapdragons or something. And this pathway would kind of walk around. This is the septic lid, so we can't cover that up, and walk around this way. Maybe there's 2 beds here with a little trellis system. Up this way, these are dwarf trees. We can't have something real big. The septic goes out this way. There's one big pipe that goes out that way, and then the leach field is further out in the field. And up here, 2 more beds. I'd also like to have seating areas and some lighting. And this is all just laid out. Just maybe it could be this way. But I also just kind of want it to grow organically. So right now I'm just kind of fact finding. I'm just kind of getting ideas. So what I'm asking from you guys is kind of tell me what you really love. What are some things you wish you had done sooner or better in your garden? And then what are some things that you regret and maybe you wouldn't do again? I know, like at my last garden at the house on Locust, I put my beds really close together, and I regretted that because I didn't feel like there was enough room to walk through. And then especially as the tomatoes got big, they were just really crowded in there, and it got very difficult to walk. It was fun. I grew a lot of food, and that was the goal, was just see how much I could grow in that tiny little lot. But now I'm ready to have a really good strolling garden, and I'd like some water features, so I need some input on that. Something easy, something that doesn't take electricity, and so I'm going to run some solar lights and whatnot. But I'd really love your input. If you have any other ideas about, oh, don't forget to lay this out first, this is the first thing you need to prioritize, because I'm thinking right now I'm just going to get some cloth, some what's it called, field cloth or whatever, weed barrier, put it down and lay some mulch on it and just start building my paths. And then, slowly get the beds and start filling them up and just slowly start building it that way. But if there's something I need to know, like, hey, you need to absolutely have this written in stone and you need to do this first because you don't want to have to go back and do it later, let me know. Also, if you have any great ideas for those fences, I just picture like vining stuff all over those fences. Especially since, it's good for like blocking the sound, blocking other people's view. Let me know what your favorite vining plant is that would just grow like crazy and quickly all over the fences. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you came to join me, and I look forward to your feedback. Bye.